The arrows in the video you are looking at are the byproduct of the very same custom Forex indicator that I am about to show you how to make. This custom indicator has a very high win rate and can be used on any chart, albeit gold, oil, stock, index, currency, or even synthetic indices. Furthermore, if you follow the exact instructions that are going to be outlined in this video, you can create one for your MetaTrader 4 and your MetaTrader 5. As a bonus, you can even have the signals sent directly to your phone, so you become your very own signal provider without any chart reading. With that being said, this video is the first out of a series of videos in which I will show you how to create your custom Forex indicator first. And then by the end, I'll show you how to automate your trading strategy with a lot more information in between. I did make a video in the past on how to create your custom indicator, which did well compared to my other videos. So I decided to do over that video, but a whole lot better this time around. So without further ado, let's get into crafting our money-generating machine, shall we? First, go to the website eabuilder.com. I'll make sure to put a link in the pinned comment and the description of this video. By the way, please note that you can either copy whatever I am about to show you, or you can create a different indicator, as this video only serves as both a guide and an example of how to do so. If you're creating your own indicator, be sure to write them down on paper or sticky notes first, before attempting to make it as you can, and will get confused somewhere in the process. Anyways, let's continue. Once you've logged into the website, click New. This will prompt you to choose which platform you want to create the indicator for. For example purposes, we are going to use the MetaTrader 5 purely because synthetic indices are only available on that platform. Next, we are going to select Indicator. To automate your strategy, you first would need to become a paid member, but that's a topic for the later part of this series. Now give your indicator a name. Just going to give mine a random name. The notes are optional, however. I like to leave notes on each strategy or indicator that I create, especially if I make multiple versions of the same strategy just to test the different feasibility of each. This way I can keep track of all my work and don't get confused. Now that's done, let's start putting our indicator together. As you can see here, I've outlined the basis of how the indicator should function. So we are going to add each function to the indicator as a buy or sell condition that must be met before opening any trade. First, we need to identify the indicators that we're going to use and see how they function and complement each other on the charts. In this case, we will be using the exponential moving average period 100 and the Ichimoku Kinju Sen, along with the stochastic oscillator. As explained in a previous video, a moving average smoothens price data to create a single flowing line, helping traders identify the direction of the trend. Stochastic oscillator. This indicator compares a closing price to a price range over a specific period, helping traders identify potential reversal points. The Kinjun Sen. The Kijun Sen is calculated by averaging the highest high and the lowest low over the past 26 periods, typically depicted as a solid line on Forex charts. Its primary purpose is to provide traders with a perspective of the medium-term trend direction and potential support or resistance levels. We will go into more detail on what the Ichimoku Kijun Sen is and how to use it, but for now we're only focusing on creating our indicator. After adding the Ichimoku to the chart, we're going to make a slight modification, which is removing all the extra pieces that we don't need. We do this for all the pieces except for the Kinjun Sen. Now your chart should have two indicators looking like this. Before we continue, let's take a look at how they complement each other. Perfect! Now we are going to be creating the buy signal of our indicator. The first function states that the indicator must trade in the direction of the trend. As such, the first condition, of course, is that the Kinjun Sen, period 26, must be above the 100 EMA on both the lower and the higher time frame. Select the appropriate time frame. In this case, I will be using the 15 minutes as my primary time frame. As you go along, you are going to see some checker boxes. By clicking the boxes, you are making these settings modifiable so that they can be adjusted when adding the indicator to the chart. So it's up to you what settings you want to be modifiable for your indicator. Now this is very important. For an indicator with many moving parts, you want to make sure you select the correct indicator buffer. This means that this is the part of the indicator that your strategy relies on to produce the buy and sell signal. So for this example, of course, our indicator buffer is going to be the Kijun-sen, with the period set to the default 26. Also, the shift here refers to the candlestick that the indicator should be getting the data from. Now we select is above. You mustn't mix up is above with crosses above. The latter serves as an instant signal that will trigger the opening or closing of a trade, and that's not what we want as yet. Next, we're going to search for the moving average. Select the time frame. Change the period to 100. Change the method to exponential. And finally, the shift to 1. All else can be left to the default settings. And just like that, we've created our first buy condition. The next function implies that the indicator would only buy or sell once the trend of both the larger time frame and the smaller time frames are the same. This will make sure that we are not doing any counter-trend trading. As such, our next buy condition should be the same as the one we just created. But the only difference is that we are going to use the larger time frame. In this case, we're going to use the 4-hour for this example. Good! Now the second condition is completed. On to the third. Now this is where things get spicy. One truly effective way to filter out a lot of bad trades is with the use of an oscillator. The third function outlines that no trading when the market is overextended, meaning no buying when the market is overbought, and no selling when the market is oversold. Now to filter out these bad signals, we are going to use the stochastic oscillator. Once selected, set the time frame to the higher time frame of your choice. The K period should be set to 14, while the D period is set to 3. Likewise, the slowing period is also set to 3. This will smooth out the stochastic a whole lot compared to the default settings. The method should be exponential, with the indicator buffer being the baseline. Now select is below. On the extreme right of the selective tabs, go to the bottom and select the tab Value. Now input your overbought amount. I like to use the default 80% and 20% values, but you can add this as an input so it can be modified in the MetaTrader trader platform when adding it to the chart. For additional filtering of bad signals, we want to make sure that the stochastic oscillator is also showing that the market is currently going up. The conditions that will govern this function are as follows. The stochastic baseline is above the stochastic signal line. This means that the same settings for the stochastic we used in the prior buy condition are what we will use here on the left. On the right side, the same settings except the indicator buffer will be the stochastic signal line. So what we are trying to do is buy and sell given the best market conditions as you see here. Let's look at what the smaller time frame looks like in these conditions. Candlestick one body should be above the EMA in an uptrend. With this fifth buy condition, we can also filter out potential false signals as you see here. What we want is a clear trending market to enter, and not one that is indecisive. With that being said, our next buy condition requires that the previous candlestick's body, which includes the close and the open, is above the moving average. Now for the final buy condition, which will be our trigger to open the trade. Open buy trade when a bull candle crosses above the Kijun-sen. So to create this function, we would need to make two conditions. The first is to make sure that the previously closed candlestick is a bullish candle, and that's the candlestick that would be generating our signal. Lastly, the close of the candlestick should cross above the Kijun-sen. For additional clarity, is above is a condition that is continuous, while crosses above is a condition that is instant. And just like that, we've created all our buy conditions. Now we will select our display style, which of course is going to be an arrow, and the color is going to be set as blue. The width will determine how big the arrows are going to look on the charts. For now, I'll leave it at default. The arrow should be at the candlestick low on the lower time frame. But to avoid confusion, I want my arrow to be about 1 to 3 pips below the low of the candle. As such, I will be extending this condition by clicking the green arrow to the right. Then select the minus sign. Then check the in pips box. Going to make this an input just in case the 5 pips below is a bit too far down. That way I can easily adjust it. So now that we've completed our buy signal, we are going to set up the sell signal. This is done simply by clicking the option at the bottom, New Indicator Buffer. Once you do that, click the icon that looks like a magician's wand. As you hover over it, it will state, create the opposite of the indicator buffer above. To make sure that we create the opposite signals, make sure the icon for the sell signal says sell. Now all we need to do is modify a few of the conditions to fit the sell signal. Now go to Source and copy your code. Open the MetaTrader Trader platform. Open the Meta Editor. Click New. Select Custom Indicator. Write the name of your indicator here. Now press Ctrl A to highlight all the pre-written code that you are going to replace. And then paste the code that you got from the website in this box. Then click Compile at the top. Now close the Meta Editor, go over the MetaTrader 5 and press Ctrl N. Find the indicator icon, and you'll see your custom indicator there. Now drag and drop to the screen. That's it. If you're having any issue whatsoever, please come back to this video and comment your issue, and I'd be more than happy to walk you through it. After all, this is a community. Together we take profit, divided we hit stop loss. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about mastering the Forex market, be sure to hit that subscribe button to join our community of aspiring traders. We release lots of valuable content like this, so don't miss out on any of it. Thank you for watching.